Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be ranking the top free cards in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM here on this tier list. Got about, 33 or so of the best free cards in MyTEAM right here that we're going to go over. If there's any that you think I missed, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll let you know where I would rank those guys. But got a good amount of the free cards in this game right now, the top guys that you can earn, and hopefully gives y'all a good picture of which free cards you should be targeting and grinding for, and which ones you should probably stay away from. Now, admittedly, not all of these cards are still available for free, and I am realizing already that I didn't include Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He falls into that category. He would probably be like A tier or B tier at this point. I'll say that. But in general, some of these guys are not earnable anymore, but they were earnable, and a lot of them are still available for free as well. So with that being said, without further ado, let's hop right into it. Alex English is A tier among the free cards. I truly believe that. He's got an awesome release. Carmelo's jump shot is really nice. Not to mention, he's a very good defender and an elite level slasher. Moves well at the shooting guard position. I think Alex English is a big, versatile shooting guard who does a lot of things well with his Evo. He's 6'8" as well. He's a great slasher, great dribbler, good defensive card as well. That type of size is very valuable. He moves pretty well, and overall, just a really, really nice card. I'm a big, big fan of Alex English. I think he's one of the better free shooting guards in the game. Honestly, CJ McCollum is good as well. I don't know if he's quite A tier, but I think B is totally fair. I mean, offensively, he's very good. He's got Hoff Limitless. He moves pretty well. His release is nice, and defensively, he's certainly not bad either. They made him, this is the best I've seen a CJ McCollum card be defensively this early in the year in a while. He's actually a pretty viable option at the point guard position. Definitely not a bad card. Jermaine O'Neal, bad release, but outside of that, he's kind of a stud. He dribbles incredibly well. That's what he does really, really well, is how well he moves. His playmaking ability at the power forward position is, I wouldn't say unmatched, but it's pretty close to unmatched, especially out of a 6'11" dude with a 7'3" wingspan. But his release is pretty bad. I will admit that. Now, playmaking badges are great. Defensive badges are great. And finishing badges also really good. I just wish he was a little bit better as a shooter. And he has like pretty decent movement ability, though, I will say. And even with Embiid dribble style and with how good his playmaking badges are, that can be a big plus with this O'Neal card. At the same time, I still think because of how bad his release is, B tier is a fair spot for him. AK, elite defensive card, solid offensively. He's still a very good small forward, one of the better small forwards in the game. Not an insane free card, but very, very solid still. Obviously not available for free anymore, but all the Inferno players were available for free, so I decided to include a few of the top Inferno players on this list still because they were available for free. Chet Holmgren is S tier for sure. He's still in the discussion for best power forward in the game, period, not just free power forward. I think he's one of the best cards in MyTEAM still, and I do believe he's an absolutely incredible option as a free power forward. Super versatile, super complete stat and badge wise. He has been an awesome card for a while and continues to be a great option at the power forward position. I think Chris Mullin is fine, but I don't think he's amazing. I think he's B. He moves pretty well, actually, and he's a great shooter, not a bad defender either, but he's not an elite slasher. He's not insane as a playmaker. His release is fine, but not exceptional. Like, he's a good card, but I don't think he's unbelievably great. I think B is totally fair. I think DeMar is D tier. I think not DeMar. I'm sorry. Dame is D tier. He just has no defensive ability at all. He's a great offensive point guard, but he's undersized with literally no defense. That's a complete no-no at this point, and that puts him D tier. I think DeMar sucks too, but I don't know if he sucks enough to go D tier because there are a couple of cards on this list that are worse than him. At the same time, I'm not a fan. I will put him C. I just don't like his release. I don't think he's that complete stat and badge-wise. He's missing some key badges. There are a lot of better shooting guard options than DeMar DeRozan. He is definitely one of the most disappointing free cards as of late. Dominique Wilkins, I think he's better than DeMar. He's 6'8" with the Curry slide. I actually prefer his release to DeMar's as well. He's also an elite slasher. Defensively, they're not that far apart. Like, I actually prefer this Dominique Wilkins card to DeMar DeRozan. Not saying he's great, but I'd put him low B, maybe high C. I don't know. Gilbert Arenas, bad release, undersized point guard. Like, stat badge wise, he's pretty good, I will say, but I just don't think he's very good as an actual card because his release sucks and his movement also like isn't great at all. So not a big fan of Gilbert Arenas personally. I think he's one of the worst cards on this list. Maybe not D tier, maybe C, but I don't think he's very good. There are a few pretty worse. There are a few cards that I'd probably say are worse though. So we'll go. We're going to go D. I think he's probably high D, but he's still D. Hakeem, is he still A? Honestly, Hakeem, as much as he's still a very solid center option, I think he's been a little bit outclassed by the best of the best centers. I think B is probably fair. His ability to get every badge is nice, but he's not an incredible shooter nor an incredible playmaker. And those two things, like the playmaking isn't that important, but the shooting is pretty important, and he's not a great one at that. So I don't love the card. I think he's okay still. I think he's still a great defender, great rebounder, really versatile. Not a bad shooter. The ability to get every badge is still very nice, but I'll give him A. I think he's still probably A. Sigma's B. Awesome shooter, good interior defender, good dunker. I still don't know. Well, actually, Sigma might be A. The thing about Sigma is he's a little slow. He's only got, 78 speed. That's not great. And his badges aren't incredibly complete, especially even his shooting badges. He's just got an amazing release. He doesn't have fast twitch, doesn't have precision dunker, doesn't have clamps, glove, challenger. Like, he's missing a pretty good amount of badges, and his stats aren't insane, but his animations, his release is just so good. I'm going to go high B for him, but I want to put him A. I don't know. I think Jimmy's release is kind of baited. I do like him as a card, though. Is he good enough to go higher? That B still, though, as a not the Pro Pass version that doesn't get every single badge. This is more the base Jimmy Butler. He's still a good playmaker, great defender, and a good slasher, good finisher. Just not the best shooter in the world. Although when he's open, he'll knock it down. He's good enough to be B tier. I think I'll give him B because I don't dislike his release. Embiid is still S. He's still a top 5 center in the game at very worst. Very good card. Does a lot of things really well on the court and shoots the ball well, defends well, big, strong, versatile, great interior center on both ends of the court, great dunker, all the things. He does everything well. I'm going to put KG C tier. I think kind of like DeMar. He's just not that great. His animations are outdated, bad release, doesn't dribble well. Like, he just doesn't do anything that well on the court. He's pretty darn mid. Corver is also B. I know we're having a big B tier. I think I got to move Dominic down. I'm sorry. He's just not good enough defensively. I think that's fair. Corver is B. He's an amazing shooter, the best shooter in the game. Unfortunately, he doesn't defend great. He's not a horrible defender, but he doesn't defend great, and he's certainly not a great slasher nor a great playmaker, although he does have the Curry slide. His playmaking badges just aren't there, so I think B tier is fair just because of how incredible shooter he is, but he's overall not that incredible of a card. Lamar Odom is just, he's just mid. He's just not great at literally anything on the court. Unless you badged up Lamar Odom a bunch, which you could do because you can get every badge, but unless you were one of the very few people who badged this card up, I think C tier is fair. And honestly, he's not a card very many people even have because you had to go 12-0 and unlimited for him, and that is tough to do. Latrell Sprewell, good card, but like not insane. He's only 6'5" at shooting guard. I thought he was okay when I tried him out, but even that was a couple weeks ago, and cards have gotten better since then. He doesn't have Limitless. He doesn't have Speed Booster. He doesn't have Anchor. He doesn't have Brick Wall. Those are important badges. Just those that he doesn't have. Statistically, he's not that insane. His release is fine, but his movement isn't insane. Yeah, I'm putting him B. I'm putting him C. I don't think he's that good. Luke is going D. He has no defense at all. I don't care. I don't care how good he is offensively. He has no defense. That is not cutting it whatsoever for me. D tier. Not a fan. Magic. He's big, but that's literally his only value, pretty much, is that he's a huge guy. Not able to get every badge. This one isn't, so he doesn't have the shooting. But I will say he does have great playmaking badges, and he is a pretty good defender as well. That size is valuable defensively, and yes, he does have great playmaking badges, even though it doesn't feel like it sometimes because his SIGs aren't that great. But he is a good finisher. Glitchy as a finisher. Great screener, great defender. He's good enough to go B tier if you use him properly. I just personally think he's a cheeseball, and I'm not a big fan of the card. Michael Redd, his release sucks. He doesn't move well. He's not a great defender. He's not a good card at all. He is one of the bad free cards that we've gotten recently. Oh my gosh, I just realized I forgot Larry Bird. One of the most like premier cards on the game is a free card, and I completely forgot about him. That's my bad. Larry, by the way, I know I'm going to get comments about it because people aren't going to watch the video and they aren't going to hear me say this. He's not incredible, but he's not bad. I'd probably put him B tier. Mike Miller has no defense. He's an incredible shooter, but he's a worse Kyle Korver. He literally has no defense, and he doesn't even have that great shot creation. He's not a great slasher. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going D tier for Mike Miller. As great of a shooter as he is, you got to be able to defend it. He can't. Paulo is A. Paulo is really good, and I think he's an awesome budget card, or awesome free option if you did get him for free because he's a great shooter. He's basically Karl Malone. Great shooter, great athlete, very good defender. Can put the ball on the floor pretty well. Hoff speed boost on him is super nice. There's a lot to like. He's a very good card. Paul Pierce, horrible release. Everything else is not bad, but his release blows. I actually think he's okay enough to probably go C still, but I just don't think he's very good. His release is gross. RJ Barrett, he's missing badges, honestly, is the biggest thing on RJ Barrett. Is like he's just not insane. Like he doesn't have Limitless range or Agent 3. He's got good finishing badges, and he's a good slasher, but playmaking wise, I mean, he's got speed booster. Defensively, he's pretty good. No anchor, no brick wall. Like he's not bad though. I mean, he's pretty good. I think he's probably B, honestly. I think he's B. That's fair. He's better than people give him credit for. Rondo's 6 foot. That's his problem. He's a great defender, but he's not an incredible shooter, and he's only 6 foot, not an elite slasher either. It's not going to cut it. Generally, a card like Rex Chapman that doesn't have clamps, I would put C tier, but he's so good I would put D tier, but he's so good offensively, I'm still going to give him C. His release is amazing. He's an elite shooter. He's an elite slasher. He is amazing as an offensive card. He even moves well. He just doesn't defend at all, which is why he's only C tier, but he is a good card in a lot of ways. Hibbert's good. I think B tier is fair. I'm moving Sigma up. I don't care. His release is amazing. I think we need more A tier cards anyway, so I'm moving him up. Hibbert's like not bad. He's 7'2". He's really great defensively. He's like a better Dikembe Mutombo. At the same time, his release does suck, and so I think it is fair to put him B tier. I like Steph. I think B tier is fair for him as well. He's a good shot creator. He's one of the better point guards. Like, he's not bad defensively. He's better than all the point guards below him for sure. I don't think he and CJ McCollum are probably about the same level, honestly. So putting them both B tier seems totally fair. Another S tier guy here is Thurl Bailey. Definitely an elite level free option. I'm realizing that this list is just I'm a little too low on some of these cards. I got to move some guys up. I'm moving you up. Anybody else that I actually really like? I don't like Jermaine O'Neal's release, but I like everything else with the cards so much. Hibbert, maybe? I don't know. I'm going to leave it the way it is. I think it's just going to be a lesser, taller tiers. 6'8" shooting guard, T-Max, still with a good release. Like, I don't think he's the best shooting guard in the game, but among free cards, he is pretty darn solid for sure. He is not bad at all. He's a very, very solid shooter. He's got great all-around stats and badges. 6'8", good defender. Like, he does a lot of things well. Tyrese Halliburton, despite having a bad release, is so complete stat and badge-wise that among the free cards, I think he still has to go B tier. He is so good. If he had a good release, he'd be a demon, but his release sucks, which is a shame. And Tyson Chandler is going to be the only other S tier player that I put on this list. I am not forcing guys into S tier, and I think these 4 guys in the S tier are a step ahead of everybody else at their spot. You could argue an AK or Apollo or somebody like that into the S tier, but for me, I think this is fair, and I think these 4 guys are head and shoulders above everybody else. Tyson Chandler, he might be the best center in the game. I am so excited to get that card. He is unbelievably good. Regardless, that is going to do it for this video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.